Reduzieren Sie die wieder. Ja. Aber so eine Codierung, wenn die Codierung überladen, Nvidia Having.
Ich weiß, was Encoding hat, aber ehrlich gesagt kenne ich da auch nicht so aus.
Bin ich jetzt oder live? Das ist ein Rotz. Ja? Mhm. Gut. Gucken wir denselben Shit nochmal. Vielleicht dann diesmal einfach mit dem zweiten, also mit dem anderen Programm, was ich vorhat. Ist awesome. Auch gut, es funktioniert die Brille nicht. Hm. Yeah, MD, it appears to be that my machine is not able to like stream, record, and support, well, too high. You know, there's two high resolution screens in the goggles, and then there is another high resolution screen in front of my face, and there is another screen on top of that. So basically, two 4K screens, one ultra wide screen, and so on. So let's see how this works on this server then. If I'm going to go this way, so you're now seeing what is going on. Right now I feel rather confident on the FPS as far as I'm concerned. So maybe we see a better stream then. Ah, ich kack ab. Yeah, you see a screen capture rather than Oh, yeah. If I don't copy the picture, I can't make it let you see at all. So this is why you're getting a black screen. Makes total sense. Okay. Quit to the main menu. Yeah. Quit to the main menu still. A little bit of more troubleshooting. Luke, you do have experience with this? Sounds like. I'd appreciate some help for sure. The problem is I have to enable, and that's probably pretty consuming. I have to enable the display VR mirror because otherwise I can't get any picture for you onto the screen. Which is an issue in a way. Yeah, especially the troubleshooting especially is fun when you do it live, right? Because like you want to focus on doing some content. The screen is misplaced for a reason, Hayden Kit. Because as soon as I have my VR goggles on, because it's showing the left eye, it would be dislocated if I keep it centered, so I have to slightly put it to the right. Hey! Oh, I did not keep the changes or what? Oh, my own brain. Yeah, I need to say apply. Here we go again. Fun fact is, like, for as long as I'm in the menu, you can see, and as soon as I'm off the menu, you can't see anymore, right? Okay. Like, this is the final blow, otherwise I'll have to sadly stop the stream and just do some recording. You got to be kidding me. It's still not mirroring the damn thing. Good. So let's just quit. Restart the game. See whether the setting is there. Yeah, I'm utterly sorry about the shenanigans, but this is exactly what I sometimes just expect happening. And this has also been part of being a streamer and doing things on the fly as much as possible. Sometimes you just run into the troubles. Okay, we do have the monitor on now. After the restart, let's join that server. Should know the lobby code by heart by now, but I don't. So Pepper pray that this is working now. Here we see the game loading. And I'll be quite honest with you, I'm tempted to keep this picture for you. And then Pepper pray that this works better. So guys, how are we looking now? Jetzt muss besser sein. Now, okay. Just one more thing to fix. I need to be sitting a bit further to the front, then press the center button, then I can lean backwards. Then I need the chat recentered. Ah, damn. And then tabbing in, tabbing out of the game. I'm pretty sure this is causing issues again. Is it still not lagging, or does it start lagging now? Jetzt müsste wieder besser sein, oder? Weil jetzt läuft bei mir flüssig. Okay. Also wenn du willst, kannst du mich einfach muten oder wie auch immer, wie du Bock hast. Ich fange jetzt mal an zu labern. Now Gucci. Okay, danke dir. Merci, ciao. The troubles with VR and the CPU. So, the sole reason why this happened. And I need to. Yoo-hoo! The sole reason why this has happened is basically really simply because of the number of AI I had on the server. Alright, let's see what lap times we can hit. We do a couple of runs to see how much can we get close to what we did yesterday. Because this is going to be part for a special video that I'm going to do about VR, whether for sim racing and esports and performance based you are just as good in VR as on the screen, or whether you're better on the screen, or maybe even you're better in VR because you have more immersion and stuff. So that is what this stream today is about. So we're not going to go for hot laps, even if we see that the guy in P1 has beaten us by 0.002 of a second, so we're sitting P10 overall at the very least. But generally speaking, we want to see how good is VR in terms of where we race, in terms of how we race. This is the reason why I used AI, because I wanted to be like, oh, I'm side by side with you, so let's see whether I go like into your car or not. Or on the other hand, just to see how easy it is to just like move the eyes and head a bit, to like look left, right and center, whether there's a car next to you, stuff like that. What we can do though still is, how deep are we looking into the apex and to see where we're actually going for maximum performance. But again, right now is more about lap times. What is the target time? So basically, yesterday we did 2:18.820. As far as I'm concerned, I see two guys actually being considerably strong there, so yeah. Yesterday I was quite confident that this lap time would be enough to make the cut of a top 36, currently sitting 9th. Whee! Something that has never happened without... Ow. Halt's Maul. What the fuck disconnected now? I'm not sure if you heard the dum. Certainly my rear wing has disconnected from the car, so... The drama. Alright, here we go again. First impression is that, despite obviously the picture is not quite as smooth, which is to be expected if you consider that the resolution, like I'm looking at two 4K screens inside this thing. So that is like 160% of my current resolution on top of that. And then I'm looking at it with the same graphics. And I'm not even able to get 144 Hz and refreshing rate on the base game, like with non-VR. So as you can imagine, we don't get 144 Hz here with the VR goggles. So I'm more bottlenecked with my GPU right now, to be honest. The windshield seems pretty narrow for his use. I think you mentioned a transformed resolution, and this might be the origin of this looks. Yes. So I think what is the problem on VR as such, and I could also flick on the screen that is like taking a direct cut from the PC, but that would just give you the same resolution or the same, I want to say, how shall I word this? Like you're not looking at a properly 1080p resolution. You're looking at something like something more widescreen, as in like 2000 pixels wide, but just 800 high or something like that. So it's compressed in horizontal line instead of a normal field of view, which I do not know how to fix, honestly, because as you can see, the menu is being displayed normally. It might be just that the picture is displayed like this in the VR glasses that I can see through, but here, like, the picture looks absolutely normal and not compressed in a wrong way. But I hope you guys can deal with it for a moment. So let's see, 218.8 would have been the target if we can hit it. I probably, and you guys, we can make a little bit of a guess game out of this. How much far off do you think we are? I don't mean VR, but like we are in VR compared to like running normal. That is probably an interesting guess game to do. I'm not intimidated by anything really, so I do not have a huge issue of latency. That's fine. So I wouldn't say I'm not necessarily struck by that one. I do have an advantage a little bit, as I can move my head and see what's happening around me. That's good, but I'm pretty sure. Whoa. Oh my god! Someone clip it. A VR save in Eau Rouge. Oh my god! But yeah, this is the thing. Yes, I can feel what the steering wheel is doing, but it's like I'm doing things wrong in the first place, right? Probably several tenths, you assume. Well, we're gonna find out shortly, right? Fuck's sake. Yeah. How far are we off? Hashtag can't know. I mean, I'm pretending trying to, but maybe I have to say it's just incomparable for me right now. You might be able to try using the goggle without the screen off. It is this. It is disparate aspect ratio for sure. It's not just. It's not just like condensed or compressed on a horizontal line. Luke Bradford, do you by chance like? I understand you don't stream, but do you by chance have any experience? Like, you seem to have experience with VR in the first place, so maybe we should have a conversation to maybe what can I do to improve the situation. The thing is, on this particular car now, for those of you that have seen the stream yesterday, in this car, on this track, doing the esports stuff, I have consistently, and if anything, only had issues with understeer. At no point I was like, oh, the car is so tricky and bad and difficult to drive. And yet though, this time I lost it 3 times already. Especially the one in Puhon. Like, I turned in and probably I would have sensed that oversteer yesterday. And it's the same thing here. I would have sensed that oversteer yesterday from just looking at the 2D screen, because my senses are trained on that. And right now, probably sitting in the car completely in the same position, in the same condition, but like just being variable by this, I may not see or understand that the car is not understeering but oversteering at the point. I don't know. Yes, this is a fixed setup. Half a second after some acclimatization. I'd probably say if we're scoring a high 219, which would be a second slower, I'd probably be alright with that. Because I have also have that reduced frame rate a little bit, which means that the car movements are not as fluid as I thought, or as I expect them to be. So for instance, this, yeah, exactly, oh, not again, fuck me. Excuse my language. Since it's nothing broken, I'll just continue this time, like, I can't be asked. So, probably I do have some latency, and that might cause all the issues, because if I'm turning in like this, and it's just a little bit delayed, the moment I start oversteering, and we know from the hypercar tires, it is already too late by the time you find out. And then obviously something else that plays a major role in VR is you have another dimension of variability. That's the word. You know, like I'm sitting right now in this position. I could also move my head though to the front, and then where's my braking point? And then I go past the apex quite horribly. Not that I would actually do it like this, you know, and be like, oh, here we go. Let's drive a bit quicker. Let's see more of the apex. And like, we're gonna be right on it. I think at this stage, when I spin, I would already be scared to smash the freaking steering wheel into my face. So we better go back into the position that feels more natural, because from a natural point of view, besides being able to see the steering wheel, and right now the distance between my body and the virtual steering wheel seems to be exactly the same as like my body and the steering wheel I'm having enhanced physically. So that's a good thing. Also, I can see my feet while racing. I would reckon I can also see my feet while driving the road car, right? So I don't think we're too far off from a natural sitting position, I reckon. But it's like, I feel super shit with this. Motor map race. Now I wanted to have PC1. Just need that rear to be a little bit in better shape. I just want to do a lap, really. And then, like, start to get a little bit of confidence and improve on it. I'm not even pressing the TC override button here. Anyway, good run through Rouge, finally. Sadly, eventually the car is broken, but we don't care for this run. We fixed that on another one. How about what you say is the viewership experience, though? Looking at the screens like that. I mean, I could also try give you this view. Can you please quickly tell me whether you do see the in-game or whether you see a black screen? You should see an in-game, right? Pretty much centered, hopefully. Is this better to look at? Question mark. Okay, so you do see something. Is it better to look at as from the other perspective? Or would you appreciate the overview from the back shoulder camera again? I have to admit, as much as I'm struggling a little bit on like an adapting thing, just the overall immersion is just insanely good. Make it bigger. Let me see if I can. Want to do something bigger. Lex incoming. Yeah, I can't make that really bigger. That is basically as big as I can do it. The only thing that I can do is go back to this and have this in a... How about this, though? I wanted to know about this view, I think. Yes, we will have lagging in a moment. But how is this view now? With the camera over the shoulder. So on the screen you can more precisely see what I can see from inside the goggles. This is bad. You mean the lagging right now? I can agree. The lagging should improve in a moment. Because I also can't drive like this, really. No, I can't drive it. Yeah, but how is the view? I'm more interested from the view, the general view. The perspective, the Hayden, that's what I'm after. You say this perspective is better. I quickly return to garage. Remove the goggles. Then I minimize some things. There's so much open. I don't think we need. Layouts might actually be fun to look at. This we can close. Ah, you got to love it. For whatever reason, the lagginess just doesn't disappear right now. And you know what? It might just be one thing. We may just go and restart the game because of this tabbing in, tabbing out. It might be the core issue, which is a bit of a pain. But will you say that this view is better for you as a viewer? Hmm. Drinking is a bit of an issue. Let me see settings real quick. The scene is causing issues. So we still have lags when I go through this, yeah? But the stream was better and more easy to look at. When we did have the might be the camera actually. Which means that this camera is the issue in this case, right? Or would you say is the face cam more fluid? Or is that equally lagging? The problem is I only have a couple more minutes before I have to run. So maybe I have to do this offline at some point and just record it. Honestly, like now things are looking much better. Like LMU in itself is now fluid. Like as fluid as it was before. I have things pretty much down already, apart from a couple of texture settings and stuff. So the camera picture is lacking. What about the face camera? Face camera too. So this was less laggy when we captured the screen, you say, right? Then I guess let's just capture the screen if you say so. Same lag for the whole screen. The thing is, how bad is it? So much worse than before, you say. I'm kind of afraid putting on the picture again from the game in itself. All live is going 0.5 FPS. Copy. How about now? Because OBS is telling me 60 out of 60 FPS. You know? This is the final test. If you guys still say this is too laggy, I'm gonna re-enable capturing the screen and turn off the camera capturing. After I've done one lap. How are we looking? Shit. Good. Alright. Acceptable. Fuck. Ah. Okay. It works fine now. Awesome. Now the car doesn't work fine anymore. Anyway, we seemingly have found a situation in which I'd say, without further interrupting, we can do a hot stint and then we have a quick determination of the key question that I'm going to answer. Now it's Gucci. That's awesome. The question is this view better though? than the game capture? I would assume it is, because you see like more of the stuff that I'm actually seeing together with me moving the head, right? Man, sometimes you need to understand these PC worlds. This is nuts. Anyway. You know, the thing is, I do believe that this is not necessarily... Well, I'm pretty damn sure, actually, that this is not a Pimax issue, you know? I think this is a general VR issue in combination with LMU, and it's already resource-happy way of using the machine. Obviously, adding VR and a couple of screens on top of it is just making the situation worse. So I completely get that. Alright. Then, of course, guys, if you appreciate the stream, despite it is with bits and pieces of issues, please tap a follow and Twitch subscribers on the YouTube channel. We may do more VR experience if we have optimized the settings. And if you do know about VR and VR settings, then please check out the video description and find my Discord link, the invitation link to my Discord server, and then shoot me a DM. Maybe we can optimize my settings for a better overall experience. That would be amazing. And beyond that, if you guys are on the fence, but you also do appreciate what VR can do, how VR is looking on my screen, fuck up. It's great crashing the car and then trying to bring up the referral links, right? Yeah, long story short, if you're into VR, if you want to get VR, and if you're still a little bit on the fence because you'll be like, yeah, this is quite pricey and stuff, then also check the links in the comments area below, and MD might be able to repost some of them. Currently, there is a summer sale in Pimax shops, and that means with my referral link, you not only get in 2% off of the entirety of your sale price, you also get global free shipping, and additionally, as you can see here, I'm using extra headsets for this Pimax VR Go. You get them for free on top if you order today, or if you order, I think I would need to look it up. I already said it somewhere on the unboxing stream that this summer sale is for a limited period and it might end shortly. I think 18th of July. I would need to look it up again. This is my bad. Not prepared well. Anyway, if you're ordering until that time, you get these for free on top of it. So that's a real bargain. Not only 2% off, global free shipping, also an additional audio headset to be compatible with your Pimax VR goggle that you're about to get. And if you're using VR already, then you get another $80 reduction of price, since this is part of the referral link as well. So now I hear my other camera here on the right side stopping to record. That's shit. Not what it was supposed to do. Hack up. Now I tried fixing the stream for 35 minutes. Now stream is fine. Now my gimbal is be like, oh, we're gonna stop recording here. I'm overheating. Well, that's great. MD got me covered with exclamation mark Pimax. Thank you so much, bud. You much prefer this view of the game capture, that's good. Thank you, Luke, much appreciated. Hey, Jonathan Thompson, how you doing? You'll love to see me using VR. Well, that's great. Yeah, bringing all components to the limits. My driving skill is on the limit. This Mercedes is on the limit. My GPU is on the very, very, very limit, and I'm not so sure if the CPU is having such a nice time either. Anyway, Michi, how about doing a good lap now, finally? You can trust me, I'm trying now. I'm really trying. I'm trying not to spin, I'm trying not to crash. I'm trying to be gently into a rouge. All about timing, yes. No track limit. Oof. Four-wheeler slide on the top of Radillon. Beautiful. Since all my counters are off, can someone report me how many viewership we actually have on YouTube and Twitch combined? That would be lovely. I know we had a big raid from Mtati, and I say grazie mille, Mtati, for your raid. Appreciate your support. Sadly, you've just raided in a moment before it all went kaboom. You've been racing in VR for 10 years and you'll love it. What is the current VR setup that you do have? 45 in total. Honestly, for like a complete stream of issues, lagging and bad viewer experience, 45 is actually an amazing number. I appreciate your guys' willingness to suffer with me, and I promise I give you at least 2 or 3 clean laps now, hopefully, so we can actually compare this pace and performance compared to the pace and performance that we already did yesterday. It is such a tricky thing to bring over that immersiveness or that immersion that happens here in VR. Yeah, reading the chat because it's on the open keyboard. I need to actively look at it. Oh, I broke way too early. Jesus, I feel like this is a 220 or 21 even. $221.2. You enjoying your OG? That makes... I get that. Makes total sense. In case you ever want to upgrade or need to upgrade to a Crystal Super or Crystal Light, then feel free to explanation mark Pimax. Use the referral code MichiMagic for a 2% off in sales price for you. So you can save some bare money. And obviously, at the same time, you're supporting me with me receiving some commission on it. All right, let's see how we're doing. Yeah, overcorrected. How much have I been quicker? Half a second, maybe? I'll give it one more shot, one more time. Return to the garage. You see, I did this oversteer moment, and of course you do have time to react and get into it. But for me, it's too slow, and it might be down to settings. But I can't have a real conclusion whether this is because of VR, because it just adds another delay between picture and computing and stuff. Or whether that is just happening because I have bad settings and therefore not being too fluent for myself right now. Yeah, Jonathan Thompson, I do understand. It's not like, you know, I've entered a partnership together with Pimax, so I do have the Crystal Light. I do have the Crystal Super now. I can compare them a little bit with each other, and we should also maybe do a stream using the crystal light again and be like, hey, how's that looking? And we might find out that the crystal light is better in a way for viewer experience, where I'm actually able to do a stream showing other cars simply because the resolution of the crystal light is that little bit less. Because I'll be quite honest with you, from the top of my head I do not remember, or I do not see the biggest of differences. But that needs to be re-verified with me running the other VR glasses at some point as well. I do think for sure the Crystal Super seems to be a little bit more energy consuming. Because I had this on this externally powered USB hub, and I remember that the crystal light was absolutely fine. Look at me catching a slide in time. But this Crystal Super needed a direct placement onto the motherboard of my PC, so I hear a bling and say thank you so much, whether that is for a follow on Twitch or a subscription on the YouTube channel. Much appreciating your support. Welcome to the stream. What is my FPS in game? I can't tell. Usually it would say up here on the top right. Maybe you can see it. But I have set it in game to 100 because it is the closest to the 90 FPS that I've set it on the VR. I'm using OpenXR, not StreamVR. Might be the first issue, question mark? Because I know that that Pimax is recommending SteamVR, but right now I am on OpenXR. So guys, this is the last lap. Whether I crash or not, we'll see. Even if I off-track it, I still consider it counting. Counting for the comparison between just racing and driving on a screen or in VR. First glance, obviously. All the same stuff happened as last time in lap 1. You know what the fun thing is? I do get the slide here. By the moment I realize it, I'll be like, the fuck, this hasn't happened yesterday. And I'm 100% sure that this has indeed happened yesterday. It's just I have intervened with driving correction way earlier than I do right now. And with way earlier, I would suggest, you know, between realizing and reacting, it's like 0.3 seconds to realize, another 0.3 to react. It's probably here that it takes me 0.8 seconds already to realize, and that is too big of a margin to actually correct it. So you say OpenXR is the better runtime, yeah? Copy. So one more lap. Turn 1 looks good. It would have been 4/10 quicker, so at 20.8-ish. This lap should be valid. So far, at least. It's something that's certainly not helping. The moment I start jolting on that steering wheel a bit more, like I just did on the X of Lecom, inevitably I'm shaking my head a little bit, and when I'm shaking my head, it's like, oh, yeah, exactly. Then we went into the save mode because the VR goggles were like, check your surroundings because you're out of the safety zone. Right. We call it a stream, guys, I guess. It was still a little bit in hindsight. We have a conclusion, right? But we also have the conclusion that we haven't done this the optimal way yet, which means we need to do more of this. Tortellini? Who's Tortellini? Anyway, guys, I say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the show, the program, the drama, the fixing, or the not fixing, however you want to see it. Again, we're gonna do a little bit more of that. I have done a little bit of recording, and we will have a dedicated video out on this. But of course, I would need some more help with the settings. So I appreciate if you join my Discord server, if you DM me, or if we get into the VR channel, thinking about improvements. And I would appreciate if you guys are helping me a little bit with this, especially those that are experienced. Guys, I say thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the football game for those of you that want to watch